Hello, everyone. My name is Benny, and welcome back to the Noisy Book Club podcast. Today is a very special day. I will be discussing the October book of the month, Caged Ocean Dub by Dare Segun Falowo, with a member of the book club, and that special member is Ibifubara Davis. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
I'm happy you're here. I'm happy we're talking books and literature.
Yeah.
I hope it's like a break from your current schedule.
It is a break, a very, very lovely break, I must add. I'm very happy to be discussing something that I'm very passionate about and something that I would say grounds me. So, yeah.
But before we get into the book, let me just talk a bit about you. Ibifubara Davis is a psychotherapist, a mental health advocate, and researcher passionate about helping people live with more self-awareness and balance. With a strong background in psychology and years of experience in mental health education, workplace wellness, and personal development, she's dedicated to normalizing honest conversations around emotional well-being. After her time on Big Brother Naija, Ibifubara has continued to use her platform to blend influence with impact, sharing real, relatable stories that inspire healing, growth, and self-discovery. Honestly, that is one of the most unique bios I have read so far in my time. As somebody who also has a background in psychology, I'm always happy to meet,
I love meeting people that study psychology.
I really do
like
too.
We're in a group, we understand things.
We get it. We get it. Funny enough, the author of this book, his background is also in psychology.
Aww.
So it's been really fun conversations back to back. You're not surprised, right?
Surprised.
the people, you can tell in the writing.
I'm surprised. I'm also not surprised because when I used to be a writer, because I can't remember last I picked up pen to paper or laptop to hand.
Did you write a social media caption recently?
Yes, no.
Yeah, right.
No, but yeah, like when I used to, my last work on I'm allowed to mention other platforms on this, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, on Afrida.
Okay.
I think we know Afrida. Like before they moved to their new sites, I'm one of the OGs that I'm writing on there. My last work is very much something like this.
Very speculative.
Very speculative. I write speculative fiction, to be honest. And everywhere that I've had my work, it has been speculative fiction rather. So I think that it's a psychology thing where, you understand things beyond what's normal.
I would love to read that, first of all. And then now that I think about this, I think of, I started writing more contemporarily, but I used to do this thing in my own writing where I would personify the mundane. So like shadows and clouds would become very, they would become very less of objects just to look at and more feelings, and they become characters in the story. And maybe it's a psychology thing. Maybe. But I think speculative fiction is a very fun place to play. Fun place to play, fun place to read. So yeah, I had a great and tumultuous time with this book because in my review that I put on Instagram, on the book club's Instagram, which is the Noisy Book Club everywhere.
Get to know.
I called the writing translucent because I feel like Dare writes in a way where it's easy to walk through and walk into the writing. So I think my first question for you would be how did the writing make you feel as you read the book?
For me, a lot of times when people read things like this, right, it might feel it's complex to them because it's so many feelings attached to them. So many, you're going from the normal to the paranormal and you're coming back. It's
the extraordinary.
And you're also trying to understand what does this mean in real life. And for me, when I read, most of the stories, it was the feeling of how can I relate this to the real?
Exactly.
Right? Because, there is categorized into groups. So there's the first group, the second group, there's
hauntings, hunger, hauntings, heralds.
Heralds, right? And heralds means just beginnings of stuff like that. So after every, after every story that I read, it was more like me sitting down with myself and saying, okay, what does this mean in the real sense? For some stories, I feel like I got it in between when I was reading, especially with hunger. Like most times, yeah, I think they were just on the nose. And
Caroline and the Aba women's riots.
exactly. And even the first story, which was about the woman choking on
Wedding cake.
It was very, in my head, I was just like, man, the things that you love the most can actually be the end.
The end of you.
The end of you. Do you understand? So it was things like that. And for me, it was all about taking all of these things and saying, what does it look like in my own life? I'm that kind of reader that I'll read. And because fiction helps me understand reality better. Yeah, I know that this is less, some things are not really, they're paranormal. However, I think that they're still very, very everyday, So yeah, it helped me understand some things, like, would I say that normal human beings can be going through. And yeah, it helps me also, it helped me rather think about it. And like, if someone comes to me, and they're talking about, the hunger for something, for instance, how can I navigate it based off that? So yeah, I think this book, it helped with so much introspection, and I'm glad I read it.
Not to be exclusionary, but I do think it's a psychology thing because that's what I said. I was like, reading back, like, in all this flowery imagery, in all this flattery imagery, in all these fantastical worlds, at the end of the day, at the core, it's people going through things. One of my favorite stories, October in Eronriro, you have a girl who has lost her mother, whose brother abandoned her, and she goes to work in this very suspicious restaurant, and we're seeing things and seeing things that we cannot define, but also we're watching her grieve the loss of family,
And hold on. No, sorry. Hold on to the family member that she thinks that she's letting go. So it's like, she could have left. I know it was hard, but there were times, she stayed there because there's also a part of her that just felt like this was something, this was a place of worship for
Monday.
Yes. So this was a place of worship for Monday. So it felt like, I will stay here. I will stay here, and I will hold on to the thing that felt so dear to my, family, even if they are not there, even if I'll try to forget them, but I'm still holding on to something that is, them in some parts. And the ending was also like,
The ending was a bit. I mean, from the moment they were saying, when the girl ordered for a Bloody Mary, I was like, what's inside that Bloody Mary? What's inside that Bloody Mary? And then I also think of stories like Sunskins, where it's like this rigid relationship between parents and child. And even though like there's a monster that is like taking the child in dreams, it's still about like a parent wanting to know, where is my child? Where is my child? Like, what exactly are you doing? What are you getting up to? Can you be this way? And the child being like, I'm not going to be the person you expect me to be. And then it's set against the background of this like mystical thing that is like haunting the lives of these children. But at its core, it's really the relationship between mother and son, and how rigid it is, but there's care, and it's like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful what writing can do. It can travel you to different worlds, but still like inside of it make you feel deeply.
Yep. I say it's travel. It's a journey.
It's a journey, a real journey.
Even the more you read this book, it's almost like you're getting inside. It's like deeper. And I would also say, like, the author did a good job of placements of from one story to another, from the first story. So what I noticed, especially, I love hunger, but like what I noticed with that was that
it's my favorite
find
part too.
Pieces of one in another. I don't know if that was intentional, but I would, or maybe because the theme was one, but I could find pieces of one thing in another. So I would read one, and it's almost like, okay, it's cake, but to quench cake, you have to drink orange juice.
You have to drink
the next thing that, the next
Bosala orange juice.
It was just very, very connected in a way that I really, really, appreciated from that the author took their time, the people, not just the author, but like, everybody that put the book together rather took their time to put it in this way that allows you to follow through.
And I am so happy that like we are giving ourselves a chance to read books like this, because a lot of the books that are out right now are really great books, but they are very contemporary, and it needs to be out. Like, I don't put any work over any work.
Contemporary books are digestible.
They are digestible. They're easily digestible. But books like this, they kind of shake you a bit. Yeah. And this is necessary. I feel like it's necessary.
This is necessary fiction.
Hey.
Yeah. Books like this are necessary, right? In a way, that's why one of my favorite authors, obviously, and Pemi Aguda.
Ghost Rules. I put
this
that.
Is, and when I used to write all of that, reading Pemi all the time used to give me a lot of this is is writing I want to do. And when the book came out, I was like, yes. So when I got this from, even the cover and the title of the book, I just knew that I was going to go places with this book, right? But very necessary fiction, because it helps you to not just float through the book, but because some stories I had to read twice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some after reading twice, I still don't understand. Not gonna lie to you.
It's not everything. You won't win. You can't get that.
That Oasis one's
the Oasis one. The Oasis one, I kind of get it.
Today,
for me, the one I don't understand is what's the name? The one that they were playing football in the streets in the wire.
Oh yes. In the wire. That's the beginning of Haunting.
Of Hauntings.
Yes.
And it's very short.
That's very short. Yeah,
very short.
Page. I read that 3 times actually.
I read it twice and I'm like, I must get you. I guess it, but I guess maybe you don't have to get everything. It's annotated.
It has to do with just the haunting, how the life that people want is haunting them. So it's different for everything. The one with the mother and son is where he killed his mother. It was still more about how what was haunting was something else. It sounded like it was an external thing, a demon he brought into his house, according to his mother. Was this demon he brought into the house? And we were child, etc. But for me, it was more like what was haunting him was just this desire to be loved by his mother.
Exactly.
So all of these things, have to read books like this. You need to be able to interrogate, the core of what these things mean. And not gonna lie to you, a lot of people are too lazy to do that. I know that people feel like indie reading. You see, this is why they always cancel.
They don't like readers, but also they don't like readers. People people who don't really read don't like readers because we say things like people are lazy.
Because it's true. People are too lazy to interrogate things generally. People are too lazy to watch certain movies. I don't watch every kind of movie, but I watch a lot of movies.
I love movies.
But I'll watch a past lives. I'll pick a past lives over so much, or I'll pick a normal people over a regular movie. Do you understand? And and it's just so. And there's a reason, right? And for other people, I would tell them, "Oh, watch Conversations with Friends," something like that, and they'll be like,
you like Sally Rooney?
We're just talking, These people were just talking in this thing, just dialogue, and I'm like. Exactly, it is the human condition.
Exactly. Did you like Conclave? Did you watch Conclave?
No, I haven't.
You should. It's a good talking movie.
Okay.
What movie are you looking forward to? This, as we're rolling into the last months of best movies are coming out.
I don't know. My life is.
I will send you a list.
Send me a list because my life is. I've not even watched seen Materialist today. I'm just
Me too.
I started it, but I had to work or something. Then I left. It's midway, but I need to watch it because obviously it's by a fave. It's by the same person that did Past Lives. So I think it should be very lovely.
Do you know that she's married to the guy who wrote Challengers?
Yeah. So I'm not even surprised. In fact, a lot of people bashed Challengers like this and said, "Oh, this
I'm just can we?"
But bringing it back. It's just how you can tie the fact that, interrogation of things like that. And just, at the end of the day, these things help you sit down and understand what exactly am I doing with my life. Do you understand? And what exactly is haunting me? What exactly am I hungry for? There's the one here in this book where, the mother was the mothers sort of fed up of their sons not getting married and all of that, and they have to create this girl, this dream girl, for their sons and all of that. But we see it in everyday life where she's just like, don't worry,
We'll find you somebody.
We'll find a girl from the village, you know, and it's the same, when I mean from the village, like from our town, you know, and it's the same thing of her going to create a girl from the skin, like of from the skin of the boy. So it's if you think about it, it is everyday things. Where I'm so grateful, truly, that it exists, this book, because I hope other people can see that they can read like normal, like fiction that's, you know, easy, free, and all of that, because I enjoy them too, to be honest.
It's
like,
very necessary.
Very. But also understand that sometimes read things that are beyond what you normally do just opens your mind a little bit more.
I see that reading makes me more empathetic also.
Exactly.
Because to be able to first of all, to be able to sit down and like ground yourself in a book and then step into an experience, right? And feel, it makes me more empathetic, and I hope more often than not that it translates in my real life.
No, honestly, it's a practice thing, you know, empathetic in the way that you understand that human beings can be flawed, you know, and can be it's almost like we're seeing the 360, you know, 180 degrees or whatever of it, of what human beings can be like.
To the other side.
For instance, like if you look at Chimamanda's book, you know, that's Dream Count.
Dream Count.
And it's easy to sit down out and be like, oh, why did this woman make this choice and blah, blah, blah. But if you look at it from the other person's perspective, you see that all of them were like, because, I mean, everybody loved
Omeologo.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, she also was so flawed, you know, and she did certain things. And you're looking like this woman that's supposed to even be the closest to the feminist in the book, or the closest to, but she had so many issues, you know, that clouded her, and she wasn't a perfect person. I loved it so much. And but to me, even in that book, the closest person to like a good, like the feminist was actually Binta, which was the sister of the woman that went to.
I haven't read Dream Count.
I'm just yelling. I'm just happy.
No, I don't want to interrupt you, but like, I haven't read it because like this is the first time I'm reading H. I have my copy, but it's the first time I'm reading H. Mamanda book like while everybody is reading it.
So you should. So like watch out for Binta. Like I feel like that's a very beautiful story, like of a young girl that's, you know, knows what she wants, and people are looking for the feminist in like a different person in that book, but that person was literally like living the life there right in front of them. But it's also like I say,
I would even say like the choices that like the characters made in brevity, like so many like human choices, and then like, you know, people have debated like Faramadi and like like if he got what he deserves, and I would say that like over time rereading and like talking about it, and that's what I love about being in a book club. You get to talk and like exchange, and you feel some more, you see differences, you know, and really opens up your eyes. But we have been happy and like we're trying to read my questions. But let's go back to you. You are a member of the book club, and I'd like to know some things about you. So before reading Cage Ocean Dub, I knew that you were in the Big Brother house for a small amount of time. But what did you read?
Before the house, we were in lockdown. So I've been away. I was away for about a month. Like, I was 2 weeks locked down, not seeing people.
Oh my! What did you have a book as a companion while you were there?
So part of the psychological, you know, was to be without anything. I was only with the Bible. So, or a Quran for people that are religious or something. But you weren't allowed to get a book, no journal, nothing.
No journal. You couldn't even have somewhere to pour your thoughts.
No.
No. Not for me, thank you.
Nothing.
I will not be doing Big Brother.
That's a disclaimer.
No, I will not be doing. But okay, what did you read before you left the house? Before you left for the house?
Oh, my last book before the house was Dream Count. My book after the house, Love, Marry, Kill.
Ooh,
but I read before this, like since I can buy. I have to read the name. Kiswa Wana.
Oh,
I think she's. Well, I don't know
where?
From Zimbabwe or Zambia.
I need to expand my African literature.
Zambia. But she's in Kenya now.
I just bought.
She's even South African, born in Zambia and now based in Kenya. So,
Pan-African. I've been trying to expand my African literature. I've been getting into some more Northern African.
Northern African feels very Arabian, which is very good literature, by the way. Even literature, honestly, other African authors are very good. I feel like authors from Zimbabwe, amazing.
I'm currently reading Iyagiasi's Homegoing.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what is your favorite book and who's your favorite writer?
One of my favorite books actually on the table.
Ooh.
Small World.
Oh, Caleb.
Yeah. But
Good
who's
book.
my favorite writer? Honestly, I'll give it to Pemi.
Wow, that's a really good choice.
Yeah, I would give it to Pemi Agoda.
You love your speculative fiction.
I know she's new, and when I mean new, not new in the game, but like new in the like publishing like books because she's published for before. But however, that's a brilliant writer.
I agree.
Brilliant. I don't think a lot of people do with words what Pemi can do. Even when I think she did one of the writings for this here. I was not surprised.
Wale.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, yeah. I'm not even sure. But like, even what she wrote here was like, my God.
She really is your favorite.
I was like, my God, please. Yeah, so it's the work, and it's how I say with speculative fiction, you don't have to use very grand words to push your point across. It's in the twisting of the words rather than how big the words
are. The
weaving, yes, exactly. The weaving of the words. Like, the flow is actually spectacular because even if you read his books, the flow is good. It's just the understanding that draws you back.
I love when a book makes me have to go back. I read Carlin twice. I read Akari, but like 4 times.
Carlin was once for me.
I read Carlin twice. I read October in on Reroad twice too.
It was long.
It was long, but it was like I really wanted to feel what she felt, and that's why I feel like the language really meets you halfway. It really meets you halfway. It's very different. October and Kikelomo Ultra Shane, they're the 2 stories where I feel like Dare really brings the language to that mix of digestible and this style, this weird style.
The last chapters, they're less like mythical. They're very everyday.
Very well. Fair enough.
They're more like from LSD.
I love LSD 184. I'm losing the column. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, they're
LSD 184.
Yeah. So others you can see, some form of speculative, spiritual, also mythical, but those ones, they're more everyday, like what could happen every day that could be twisted and woven into. So I think that the last one, I think they're enjoyable, but they're just long.
They're longer
than the rest. So to digest might just be a little bit,
especially when you're coming from a place where
because you'll be used to the shorter
ones.
Then when you go there, because what it did was short. The last story will just be long. That's really long. But that one from the beginning.
But I love how he sections each, even the longer stories, he sections them.
Yeah, it allows you to read more fluently. It's a thing. It actually allows you to also just pace yourself.
He's a psychologist.
It's a pacing thing. It's a psychologist. Because once he did that, I was like, yes, this helps the reader. So they don't feel like they're chewing too much. Or they're biting so much. They just feel like, okay, they can swallow, a group at a time, which is lovely. Lovely writing there.
Really lovely writing. I love how in October, where she's working in a restaurant, every section is titled after a meal.
Oh yeah. And actually it's also not just random.
It's not random, it's very thoughtful.
It's very thoughtful because when you actually read under, you understand why Isewu was called Isewu. You understand why, the fact that that was when the people were really being skinned.
Yeah.
So it made sense. Or the pepper soup was when they got, she got into trouble. It was just good. I like this.
I just love creativity. It's just impressive. Creativity is so impressive, and I'm so grateful to be able to consume what people put out. Outside of reading, what have you been up to recently? Tell us about any projects or things that are exciting.
Projects. My podcast. I'm currently filming. I'm already in post-production for 2 episodes, honestly. So they've given me everything. Just left for me to do my rollout. I'm doing my marketing rollout now. So it's announcing.
Can you say the name?
Yes, the podcast is called Do I Look Like Your Therapist?
Yes, she does.
And I say no. It's Do I Look Like a Therapist? It's just answering questions, everyday questions that people are to, not just, I wouldn't say scared per se, but answering questions that people are can't ask anybody, but it's easier to ask somebody that you think has a good understanding of what these things might feel like. So they range from love, relationships, marriage, to career, friendships, siblingships, like parents-child relationship. So it's nothing is off the table. It's just a non-judgmental zone. People sending their questions. Trust me, people sending questions, and and it came about from the fact that like before I got into the house, obviously I was a psychologist, practicing fully. But when I got into the house, a big part of my story in the house was the housemates coming to me anytime they had issues, like very fast, and they'll just be like, "Oh my God, where Ivy, where are you?" And they'll just talk to me, and they talk about whatever they're dealing with, and I help them with it. So it played out a lot where I had the nickname of the resident therapist, in the house. And then coming out, a lot of people saw that and sort of piggybacked like over it and decided to start sending me questions in my DM. Right. So just sending me things. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I can turn this into something where I help people and people also benefit from these things the way I'm helping people instead of just helping them in my DMs. So I was like, okay, I talk well, And leaving the house, I asked, like, what do you want to get from me? And a lot of people were like, oh, talk show, podcast. Like, we'd love to hear you speaking because your diary sessions were one of the best. People were talking about that. And I was like, okay. But also my podcast idea was just looming before the house. I was like, what would help drive it further, faster? Like going on this show, because at least there'll be some sort of audience waiting. So, yeah. So it's coming sooner than later.
I love like the natural progression to be able to find, because sometimes you can get lost in like the whole razzmatazz of being on such a big show, but to be able to now like condense it into where exactly you want to be. I'm so glad that you were able to find that, and I'm so glad for all the people that will be able to have felt like they've gotten help from you.
Yes. I hope people benefit more from it.
Yeah. So looking forward to the releases. I will be there.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be there because you do look like my therapist. Okay, so psychology question. What's your personality type? MBTI. Do you know your MBTI actually? Because not everybody knows their MBTI.
It's here. It's INTJ.
INTJ?
I think so. I've done that test.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Oh, you wouldn't?
I'm a stereotype. I like to think that everybody who goes on Big Brother is an extrovert.
Oh no, I'm not.
Fair enough.
I'm not. Like I mask. Yeah. So yeah. Oh no, not everybody. That's why I was kicked. That's why they booted me out.
You weren't booted out.
I know, I'm joking. The architect, INTJ.
INTJ, wow.
Analyst, constant improvement, strategy. Yeah.
So you're like very meticulous with your work.
Yeah.
Very like every perfectionist.
Yeah. So introverted 71%, intuitive 85%, thinking 61%, judging 51%, turbulent 69%, role analyst, strategy, constant improvement.
Amazing. I am an ENFJ.
Oh. What's that like?
I talk a lot. I talk a lot. I get very emotional. I get very emotional, and I like working. I work a lot actually. I do enjoy it. I think that's literally.
It's like, oh, what do you mean by you enjoy working? I'm like, I don't know.
But also, like, I like my job.
That one's 70. Yeah. That one's 70.
So I like my job. So that's basically what it's like. I think community is very important to me. So like I'm the kind of guy that like gathers his friends together. Like when we haven't been around for a long time, I'm the one that makes the trip leave the group chats. Things like that. So, but I think I'm also like the group therapist.
You can't escape it. Yeah. You can't escape it. But generally, like people thinking I'm an extrovert is so funny to me. Because, excuse me, the thing about me is that I've always masked since I was young. I've masked extroversion. Also, if I'm around a lot of introverts, I seem like the most extroverted one. So
that can happen.
Yes. So that's usually like makes people believe that, are you sure that you're really, I'll be in the midst of like some certain friends and I'm the one that is, they'll just be like, But if I go to where extroverted people are, it just feels like, Jesus, this is a lot. Oh. So that is how it was. It is for me, right? And just growing up as the person that I am, just I was a shy kid. Then I started doing so many things in school to come out of my shyness, like debate, dance,
Oh, you dance?
Yeah.
I was having fun. I did ballet in primary school.
That's cute. That's so cute, please. Yeah, but like I did so much to come out of. I was the kid, like the competitions, writing competitions, the going to present to school, running, doing track, track and field. I did a lot of high jump, low jump. I did tennis, all of that, just to come out of all of this, and it helps, right? So I'm a very confident person, but I still really think that being around people too much is stressful.
I can understand
So
that.
yeah, I'm just very so sometimes even on TikTok, some people from the house will be doing TikToks and everybody jumping and I'll be behind and people just writing comments. Ibifubara is not active at all. Now, why are you wasting your fame? You're supposed to be active. And I'm just like, hey, yeah, I will not do it.
There are different types of fame.
Yeah, and the housemate is writing, like, leave her alone. Like, this is just how she is. When she's active with all of us, she is, right? But when she's not, I'm not. Because literally there's a TikTok recently. They were really jumping and I was just at the back reading this book. My pencil like this. I was almost like, what is this girl doing here? She has a podcast to record. Tries to mind her business. So I'm like, hey, that's it. But yeah, it just helps me because people can be a lot.
I understand. For me, and I think that's why I like being busy. I think it's also the J in the personality. It's like work is kind of good for a distraction. I think it's very good for a distraction. It's also kind of like calms my mind because if I'm only thinking about work, at least I can get that done and I don't have to think about what's going on in my life.
That's why I've loved this period of my life. Nothing like personal life going on with me right now. All I'm thinking about.
I wake up, I open laptop.
I wake up, what am I doing next? Nothing concerned with my personal life.
And my work is, like a major part of my work is the book club. And I love the book club. And you're a member of it also. Yeah. What is your favorite thing about like being part of the Noisy Book Club and the book club in general?
I think it's I'm trying to use the right word. It's kind of book club where like it's an open book club. When I mean open, it's not like just the doors are open, but in a way that we're open to understanding, or listening to people and understanding from their perspective. Because I've been to some book clubs and it's almost like they are the people that talk. They are the people that not really. It's almost like they are the group leads in the book club, or some are just reading. Then there's no much. You have to raise your hand, talk. You have to we have to be.
People get noisy.
Yeah. So that's why it's noisy. That's why
they are always shouting.
But I really like the fact that nothing cannot be touched in terms of like thinking, not like disrespectful, but like in terms of thinking, that's just like people go far, and I like to be around thinkers. And I feel like this book club has thinkers.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
I think that like that's also my favorite thing about it is that nobody seems scared to be able to say how they feel. And plus, like, it's the books that they choose, and it's like, why should I not talk about what I've already spent an entire month reading? And I'm here, So I love that. Thank you for being a part of it.
You're welcome. I'm happy.
I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy. I love it. We love everyone in the book club. We do.
Okay. Special guys.
So yeah. What's you said hunger is your favorite section. What's your favorite story from hunger?
Cowlin.
She was eating. At first, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was pregnancy cravings.
Yes, no, isn't it pregnant? She's pregnant now. What we were talking about was what traditionally Igbo people call nzu. Yeah, I think that's what the craving was. I don't know if Cowlin is actually nzu in real life.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they described it like that, and a lot of pregnant women crave nzu because of anemia. Because of blood, iron issues, right?
Yeah, I know that the Cowlin has like a lot of iron.
Yeah, because even when you're not pregnant and you crave unzu, to be honest, check your iron levels. But exactly, that's all those things. They are iron level things. But like I liked it because it represented birth of different things. So it was like birth of her, like as a mother, but also like a new world for the women. So the women were part of a world where they were supposedly equal, right? And they were not looked at as different per se. Then the men really wanted it to be different, all right? And that was happening. It was an emotion. But I feel like the new one that they created did not give space to be dominated. There was no space for them to be dominated. They created, it's almost like they created this world and created these rules and gave birth to what were they even to leopards or something?
Leopards,
like,
yes.
Yeah, like they're bringing them up. It felt like a protective, shield. But like I like that story also. Like I like the story of the two women that decided that their husbands were dead and they wanted to band together and like.
Yes, I love that. And then they fought, literally fought when the guy came to like collect money from them for being. It
was a good story of friendship, like good, like and community based, right?
Girls.
I've always been invested. Like I talk about it where women, if they can band together, honestly, and have a community, because it happens in some places where women come together, they don't necessarily have husbands, but they have children, and they raise them together. It's a lovely practice, and it was shown here, right? How they can live a good life even without all of what the society expects from them. But even I like that story. I really, really like how strong she was, even in pregnancy. Like,
she was running through the forest.
It wasn't easy, but like it was a story of perseverance, but also hunger in the way that she was hungry for change. And all of them that were also birthing, the leopards, like they were hungry for change. The women were hungry for change so much that when their husbands died, they did not sit down, they found it, So I just love it. I'm me, feminist. Anything I'm there.
I love when people write women that are allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite things about Caroline is that like their anger was Dare didn't shy away from writing them being angry, from writing them questioning.
Yeah.
You have these men that have taken not just from them, but from the land that gave them this Caroline, from the land that gave them the sustenance, and they've abused it. And I love that they were able to show that anger, and not just show the anger, but show they avenged what they have known, the right to keep the tradition that they had and not let somebody else come and overthrow that. And it's like, and I love that story. I love the story of reclaiming. Yeah. It makes me feel powerful. So I
loved it so much. I even have a particular place I really like from the book.
Where is that?
Page 36.
Amazing. Let's read it.
Let's open it.
Oh my.
No, it's 9, rather.
Okay. You can read it. You can read the line.
Okay, that's 7. VII. To sit on a man, you should know when he'll be at home, not lured away by work or palm wine or some young maiden by the water. After you're sure you'll be around, visit him at home with your sisters, the 101 leopards they have built with their hands, and the water spirits that brought it all to pass. Sit on the low stools and rocks and buckets you have brought. The best time to sit is at night, because by morning he'll be up, full of dreams of your voices and the pressure of your breathing and visions of his errors that you have slipped into his mind through his nose. He'll come outside and shout, threaten violence to his sitting wife. He will not see the leopards. He will shout back in rhythm and suddenly switch to the singing. Taunt him until he begins to break things inside his house. Call his names, worthless, devil, pig, fool, coward, for that is the plight of those who try to rule the world away from the eye of the woman, those who try to turn blind power against her. One call will shoot his gun into the air. Do not scatter. Lean against the leopards as you arrive and join the growing seats. As morning approaches, your numbers will have quadrupled. The women will see the leopards and Mary and sit among them beside you. They will eat Caroline and make mass of their thunderous hearts with its milk. The officers, hearing the distress call of their brother's bullets, will come, bearing more bullets. They will lose their deaths. They will lose their deaths into the crowd like rain, and the bravest of your sisters will drop to the ground emptied. The leopards will fly at the men and tear them limb to limb, even as they are beaten back into inexistence by red-hot bullets. You'll break down his house, push it down with the crux of your shoulders, and trample on the mud walls until a red cloud rises around you.
Amazing.
Amazing.
So, lovely parts. why did you choose that exactly? I want to know.
They were being, the women were being, it's almost like their comforts was being dragged away from them, you know, and what they knew as home, it's almost like their power was also being taken away from them. But in that paragraph, it talks about doing the same thing. It's almost like oppressing your oppressor, you know, and it's also used like analogies for what women typically do. You know, when women are cooking, they sit on
They
the
sit.
stool. When women are washing, they sit on a stool. When women are taking care of babies, they sit on a stool. So it was when a woman wants to fight a battle, she sits on a stool. And it was just lovely that you start that way, you know, and everything that it's almost like everything that the men wanted them to be, they would put it back into them. And if you notice, it also talks about the thing just on him, not on their wives, not on everybody, but on the people that are actually causing havoc to them. I just love the idea of taking power back, right? But doing it like, you know, in a very, that paragraph is very spiritual.
It is.
In the way that even people that are religious, there's a lot of when you want to go to battle, it's always like sit down, call the name of, you know, in whatever religion, you know, there's a lot of affirmative practice, you know, where it's like when somebody is hurting you, sit down, call their name, and in the name of your God, in the name of, but here it was like, do these things, right? And
do what you already do.
Yes, and the God in this, which is theirs, which is the leopards and the spirits, they'll come and they'll fight for you. So it felt very spiritual, paranormal, and just like, yeah, I liked it.
For me, it was like giving power to what already felt docile and domestic, what you can pass off, this sitting that you rightfully mentioned that they do a lot, sitting to cook, sitting to wash, sitting to bathe, you know. And then giving power to the mundane that they are so familiar with, and that being able to use that to reclaim what had been taken from them, what they want, what these tax collectors wanted to forcefully rip out of their hands. And I love that it's very affirming, and it's so insightful to be able to like look at these small things and give it so much life, because I wouldn't have thought of sitting, especially even in the way you thought of it. I wouldn't have ever like thought of it like having that much power. That's my favorite thing about being in a book club. It's like you see something somewhere, but then somebody talks about it and you're like,
That's why I like this book club.
you know. Have you, apart from Ghost Roots, have you read any similar books?
I mean, we're going to say Elosa's book is not similar now.
You know, fair enough.
To be fair, it's quite similar.
Vagabonds was very
Vagabonds
speculative.
But away from that, yes, but I'm trying to remember now because I read a lot of books. So I can't point at one, but I know I have.
I will say Ghost Roots is very similar to this.
No, it is. It is very similar. It is very similar to this a lot. I think he's one of the only other people that write.
It's very few.
Very few people in this country, but I know that I've read online, mainly, not as a book itself. Very hard because I don't think people want to publish books like this, like that. But that's why I'm very happy that this book exists, because in my head, you know, when I used to write, well, I'll be like, who wants to read, you know, this thing, you know, who wants to read it as much, who wants to read this kind of story. But in my head, I'm just like, if there are people being like publishing for them, it means that there are people that want to read them. So
on the day this book was chosen, like 20 people in the book club got a copy.
That's
already. So imagine, and that was like, and we got advanced copies. The best book club in Africa, honestly. So yeah, like, and like 20 people got it. So I do think that there's something I was talking about in the last member book chat. We're talking about how our movies have kind of become a bit safer, right? And it's like, don't be scared that your audience will not get what you are putting out. You know, it will find its way. And some people will not even understand. It's not like as if I understand everything in this book. But that's why you go back. But that's why you go back. That's why you go back, because something has interested you. And you don't understand it, but you give time to it, you know. And I believe that like we should be able to trust that we can understand things that are different. You know, I don't really like to use the word like complex because intelligence is a very like touchy subject, you know. But I will use the word different. We can understand things that are different, stories that are different, people that are different, you know. Like there's a whole like rift between men and women right now in this day and age. And it's simply because people don't want to understand each other. And if you create media that is safe, if you create books that are safe, you are building a culture where people are not working hard enough to understand something more than what is just around them. You know, and like we said before, books like this are important because you have to go back. You have to go back. And that's where the empathy comes from. When you've put in so much work, you have to be empathetic. It teaches you empathy. And that's one of my favorite things about this book. I had to ask, like, for you, were the stories easily interpreted, or are there any you wouldn't have minded not being part of the book?
I wouldn't say I've not have minded. Honestly, there's a reason for these books, and I think that they will resonate with somebody else. That's why in my head I'm just like, somebody else will get it immediately. I said I didn't get it. It says either like you got it. I'm just like, okay, the same way we're talking about the first book in Huntings, I'm like, what's the hunting? but somebody would read it and they'll get it immediately, and it would do something to them, you know, immediately. So they're all needed, you know, for the person that needs them. For me, you know, for like always says, like I said, I couldn't. It's not easily digestible for me. I'll read it again. I will obviously give up if I don't understand it again.
And you know,
that's okay.
Because you tried, and then you learned something from that trying, and that's important.
I will give up. In fact, I give up. I give up. Well, I'm like when I'm just like tired of it all. But I would say that, you know, everything in hunger, everything in. It's a book that I would reread. I would definitely reread this book. It's a book that I would obviously give to somebody else that I think needs it. To be honest, I like to do that generally. Give books to people, books that I think that are not, you don't find them everywhere in terms of like, you know, you don't just go somewhere, you just find each mother book because everybody knows a popular bookstores. But books like this, I feel like they should be transported more. I could even buy one and, you know, there's something called a traveling book.
I've heard of
where you just write and like give to the next person when you're done reading. It's just like a lot of times to get stuck with one person because they want to keep it forever. But like you just give one person to give the next person to give the next person so that everybody gets to read the book. So this is the kind of book that I can do that for.
It feels like it's supposed to travel.
Yeah, it's supposed to travel.
Buy books, please. Support authors. So I'm just going to ask you, it's a lightning round.
Okay, go.
So I'm just going to ask you a few bookish questions, and then I don't want you to think, just like the first answer that like comes to mind. So, are you ready for the first one? If you could swap lives with any fictional character for a week, who would it be?
For a week?
Yes.
For a week?
I still don't think.
Oh, sorry. I'm not thinking.
You look like you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking too much. So I'll just speak based off what I've read recently. And no, she's too on the nose.
Girl.
I'm thinking too much, guys. So I have to think. Just give me a second. I think that there should be someone. That's not a second. It's very hard to actually want someone. I tell you, we see them too much. That's my problem. There's too much seeing. But yeah, I'll just go with okay.
You tell somebody they shouldn't think too much, and then all they do is just think. Promise me on the second question, you will not.
I will not think. I promise you that I will not think.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm trying to think about all the books that I've read.
Well, let me make it easier. Let me make it easier for you. Let me make it easier for you. Movies. It doesn't fictional character of any kind.
Of any kind in a movie. Christina Yang, Grey's Anatomy.
What did she like? Okay, well, she was very formidable, Shao.
Very firm.
Very formidable and firm.
Like very firm. I think I need to be more firm in life.
I told you I don't want a child. I will never want a child.
So Christina Yang is like my favorite all-time.
Love her. She was in Killing Eve.
Yeah, she was in Killing Eve.
God. Oh, love her so much. Okay. Memory wiped. What book do you wish you could read again for the first time?
Americana.
Silly.
Sorry, you said I shouldn't think. Look at me.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy. That was very good. Okay. Which book would you never admit to loving, but you secretly do?
Secretly? Why is it a secret? Is the person problematic?
I don't know. But which book is that? I know my own.
Please tell me your off camera. Secretly love. No, I don't have any book like that.
Fair enough. Okay. Which fictional world would you want to live in the most?
Fictional world from a book or just generally?
General.
Fictional world. Okay. Just one that has less suffering for women. It's a fictional world. It never happened. Maybe in 2000 and maybe in 500 years, according to like the.
I think Wakanda. I feel like Wakanda is a good fictional world.
People, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but maybe let me leave scenarios more like something in a fictional world. I like to live like in. Have you seen Before Sunset?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I kind of like Before Sunset's world, like the first movie world. The first movie and the second movie world. I don't like the third movie world.
I like the first movie.
Yeah, the first. In fact, the second movie world is what I like. There's a part.
The first movie is Before Sunrise now.
Yes, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and after.
Is it after or before? Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight.
Yes, Before Midnight. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I like Before Sunrise. That's my favorite one.
So my favorite is the middle.
Okay.
Because it's complex. It's very, very complex. That's a fictional world that I get. So when she was doing the monologue, I'm not saying this is a movie now. When she was in the monologue about just like how she loves and she has been loved, it's something that resonated with me a lot because it felt like it was words out of my mouth. And she was just talking about how everybody she's loved, she sort of like kept a piece of them in herself. Like, it's something. It's the way they talk, or it's the way they write. It's the way, for instance, now in books, like I underline with pencil, and it's just, an ex-partner that used to do it. Stuff like that. So it's just.
I tie my. I'm not getting emotional, but I tie my scarf because of someone I love. Like when I spent a year in Kaduna. So I got it from them, and like do like this.
We're the people we love and loved.
Yeah, what a great choice. I love the scene of them like on the train, looking at each other. It's just like.
But was it a book before it was a movie?
I actually don't know. No, I think it was just a movie. I think it was just
so interesting. It feels like it was a book before.
Yeah, it's written in the style of a book.
Like how them normal people are.
Sally. I just wanted to buy me Sally Rooney. Okay, so we have a few more before we go. Which character from a book would you want as your best friend?
As my best friend? That's my best friend.
That's my best friend.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Let me use this book. Since we're talking about this book. A character in this book I would really, really like is after her. No, let's see.
You can open and check.
Yeah, I don't want to say.
Where would you check on? I know one from this book I would want to be my best friend.
Who's that?
I don't know if you've read like the Herald section.
Not everybody.
The first book the first story.
That's
in the
the
Herald
story
section.
about Mary and.
Yeah, the guy who was taking him up and down, the Babalawo friend. What was his name? The Babalawo friend. I just feel like he's a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
They tried. They were riding or dying because we were using cars. By the way, the author, like a lot of these books, a lot of these stories, like have ties to cinema, like movies. So like this one where they are traveling, there's like Back to Future references
in it. Yeah. But honestly, I would say Binta from
Dream count. I thought you were going to go with like American Asha.
No. But yeah, they made too many bad decisions.
Ifemelu.
Too many bad decisions in that book. But yeah, it's
Ifemelu, sorry. Okay, so which author do you think would write your autobiography best? Biography.
I would choose Emmanuel.
Emmanuel Kant.
That's the surname, right? This baby's husband. What's her name? I'm trying to get the right surname, please, before I say the wrong surname. That's the babe that stay with me's husband.
Ayobami's husband.
Yeah.
What's that his name? Emmanuel Juma.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very random, right?
What's that his book? A Stranger's
Pose. Yes.
Oh, that's
so that's one of my favorite movies and books rather ever. Very written. I think that's the most. That's a perfect.
Oh my god! You should be like the first like Big Brother housemate to like drop a memoir. That
would be too funny. But yeah, Emmanuel Dumas' writing is quite beautiful, but not in the way that it is trying to be beautiful. The way that's just seated. I'll choose. But also, no, I wouldn't choose someone that writes fiction.
Contemporary fiction. Or historical?
Contemporary.
Ooh, contemporary or speculative?
Speculative.
Okay, so my last question. This one doesn't have to write it now. What's your most unpopular bookish opinion? Book lover opinion.
Book lover opinion. You can do anything with your book. Like the rules surrounding books is too much. Okay, you can write in your book if you want. You can have dog heads in your book if you want.
Like, you can have fun.
You can do whatever in your book if you want. Hard copy soft. Like, don't just steal from African authors. Actually, buy African authors.
Buy.
But like when it comes to like physical books, like I think that you can do whatever you want. When we get to the point where we're sort of like policing the way people do what they want with their books, they're saying people should read less. Like in a way, because it's like reading is supposed to be enjoyable. If I can pause my movie and come back tomorrow when I want to eat and open my Netflix, I should be able to do that with my book, but underline where I stopped. Because Netflix can tell you where you stopped, but nobody in real life is, and not everybody has bookmarks or whatever. Do you get what I mean? And even if you have one and it's in your box and you don't know where it is or whatever, it's fine to do whatever it is. It's fine to me. I write behind my book. I underline. I write. I keep notes for my children in my book. I don't have kids yet, guys.
Not yet.
But I do it because I want them to read and understand where my head was at when I read it or what I understood by it. And sometimes it's also a read this party to help you kind of thing. So I think you can do whatever you want with your book.
Same. I'm on the same opinion because I'm like, I annotate with like glittery pen.
Yeah.
And some people, they're like,
have fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Like, it's fun.
So that people want to read more. Like,
I love circling like words. Yeah. I love circling words. It's like, it's my book. I will open it again. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for justifying us like rough readers, because I've had this book for less than a week. It's already cleaning.
What's that group?
The same, actually, they will beat us. Aesthetic readers will beat us, but we don't judge aesthetic readers. Actually, we don't judge them.
You're not judging.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you be open to reading more works like this? Obviously, very you love speculative fiction.
Very open to reading more works like this.
So, before we go, I just want to say thank you for coming. I had such a great chat. Like, I actually had like a great chat.
I chat too much. I need to. I talk.
I've been looking for an avenue to talk some more. But this was one of my favorite conversations.
Oh, I'm glad.
You should come back on here.
I will.
So we'll see you at the book club. Book club happens. Our physical book club meeting happens on the last Saturday of every month. We are the Noisy Book Club on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X we are Noisy_Book Club. Ibifubara, how can people connect with you?
For me, my name is on Instagram, Ibifubara Davis. I don't like X. I'm not a I deactivated my account. Ibifubara Davis on Instagram, and Do I Look Like Your Therapist? Pod on Instagram. And for TikTok, Ibifubara_D, and Do I Look Like Your Therapist pod. So that's where you can find me. And on YouTube, Ibifubara. Just type Ibifubara YouTube. I'll come up. I'm the only one with that name on YouTube.
The only one with the name.
Go to my actual YouTube, but not the ones that so many interviews have clouded that thing. But my actual YouTube is there, and you get content from me.
Yeah. So yeah, come for book club. Read and purchase African literature. Cage Ocean Dove.
Best. I read mainly African literature.
Same. Cage Ocean Dove is a lovely book. Be able to see you at the book club. And there'll be so many more episodes coming soon. So like this video, subscribe,
Yeah.
share with your book lovers. See you next time. Many more episodes. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Take care.